What's up, weirdos? There is a woman online, and you're not gonna believe this, people don't like her. What? A woman receiving hate online? I've never heard of such a thing. Her name is Nara Smith, and there is like a lot of, I don't wanna say backlash, but people just basically saying that she has bad vibes and they just hate her. Like a lot of hate that I see all the time with seemingly no real like reason for it, but it's so pervasive. Like it happens so much that I feel like I have to talk about it. Nara Smith is a model and a wife and a mom, and she's married to this guy who is famous for being a model and like hot on Tumblr. Anyways, his name is Lucky Blue Smith, and he does this face. And there's nothing wrong with this face. A boy can do this face and get a lot of likes on Tumblr. I'm not gonna say he's not handsome. I'm not gonna say that. But when I see this, I just get a little bit annoyed. I'm sorry. If you're a man, you should be doing this. Anyways, Nara Smith posts videos like this.
My husband was on his way out to get a cookies and cream soft serve, but I told him I'll just make it for him instead, so that's exactly what I did.
She basically just cooks things from scratch in like full face of makeup and in like a night dress. Seems fine if we're just going off that. But the way I know Nara Smith is from Twitter, where that video gets posted with a quote tweet saying, "The funniest thing about the worship of Nara Smith and her Mormon lifestyle propaganda is that she quite clearly cannot cook at all." Is that a valid criticism though? She said she's gonna make Oreos from scratch because her husband was gonna go out, and she said, "No, honey, I'll put on my full glam makeup, put on my evening dress, and make it for you myself." By the way, she's making the Oreos from scratch. That's making the Oreos. By the way, that does not look like an Oreo. Okay, it can look good, but it doesn't look like an Oreo. Does it have to look like an Oreo? I am hating her already. See, it's like, there's just something about it that gets under your skin, and I'm gonna break it down for you, by the way. Like, we're gonna dive deep into why people hate this woman.
My Oreo cookies in there, let that churn until it reached salt and vanilla, and let that churn until it reached the consistency I wanted.
See, this is what I'm saying. By the way, did those have cream in the middle? Did she cream the middle of those Oreos? She creamed the middle of the Oreos, and all that was to just crumble them up and put them in the ice cream that she made from scratch. See, okay, here's the thing. She's making it from scratch. It's cool. This takes 3 hours, and he just wanted ice cream then. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Lucky Blue Spliff never asked for ice cream, and she's doing this for content. So she's a liar, so she's going to hell. That's why people hate her. No, that's not why people hate her. But this video is kind of an example of everything. You listen to her voiceover, you see her in the dress, you see her in the makeup, you see her making everything from scratch for her husband. She does the same thing for her kids. Like, look how she makes this cereal.
This morning I asked my toddlers what they wanted for breakfast, and they both said cereal, so cereal it was, and we got started right away. I made 2 types of cereal. The first one was chocolate chip cookie cereal.
Okay, can I just say, I'm gonna pause the video. I get why people don't like her. I get it, I'm sorry. I was thinking I'd come into this video and be like, come on, she's just doing her own thing. Because the things that people say, like, you know, Mormon lifestyle propaganda, that feels so extreme. In tweets like this, I see the word cult thrown around all the time with Nara Smith. Hate to break it to one of my mutual friends. You have to stop. With the oomphs, you have to stop it. I hate to break it to one of my friends. Shut up! OOMFS is already annoying enough. Okay, never mind. Anyways, Nara Smith's videos are Mormon propaganda, ... She's a cutie pie though, but like those videos are very intentional, trying to recruit young girls into that cult. Okay, here's the thing. That feels so extreme. That feels kind of absurd. Or like this one, I have seriously lost respect for a lot of women and girls, especially Gen Z. How can you stan a woman just because she looks good and has an aesthetic life, but ignore the fact that she is dumb enough to be a member of racist cult, aka is a Mormon? You people are not very smart. Now, my thing with this was, I was gonna come into this video and be like, is she really trying to intentionally recruit people into a racist cult? Is she? Because like, yes, she is Mormon, and people say that she's like promoting how Mormon she is, but really the references to her faith are just like occasional. Like
previous marriage. However, every now and again, Nara does reference her Mormon faith, such as starting off the day by reading her morning scriptures.
Thank you, British person. I was having a hard time finding it on her page. Oh, like, really? It's very difficult to find her referencing stuff about her Mormon faith because it's just not that big of a deal as far as what she's posting. Like, she's not a Mormon influencer in the way that there are Christian influencers and Muslim influencers and New Age, like, you know what I mean? So anyways, I was gonna come on here and be like, really? Does she deserve that criticism? Like, saying she's intentionally recruiting young girls into a cult with her propaganda is a little bit wild, but I think that in watching these videos, I have stumbled upon the actual reason. I think the fact that she's Mormon and the Mormon religion started as a cult and was based on like racist ideologies and a lot of misogynistic, well, it was just like, it's a terrible thing. Like, Mormonism started as a terrible, horrible lie, and then it just has continued, and there are so many people who do it now that it's just like, oh, it's a religion. Far more comparable to Scientology than to other religions. Although, if you go back far enough, a lot of religion, you know what I mean? But like, like there's a lot of racist and misogynistic stuff in Christianity. But I don't think that's the actual reason she's so hated. It's just a really easy and like buzzwordy, crazy thing to say to justify why people hate her. Because you could say the same things about people who randomly mention that they read the Bible this morning. Like you could say that they are actively trying to recruit young girls into a cult with their propaganda. Or like, do you ever see Muslim men commenting on Muslim women's posts on social media? But you know, everybody else isn't getting the criticism of actively trying to recruit young girls into a cult with their propaganda like she is. I think people hate her because she's annoying and insufferable. But that's me, that's my opinion, and I'm gonna show you why. Look at this video right here. POV, you're watching your husband take you on grocery store dates and enjoy it because he knows how much you love going, while showing the guy that apparently every girl was in love with on Tumblr, but walking around with his hair like this and a toothpick in his mouth, talking about how much he loves you. That's annoying. I'm sorry, that's annoying. If you show your husband with hair like this and a toothpick in his mouth, wrapping up lettuce for you, people are gonna go, oh, that's a little bit annoying. And the way she frames her videos, like this cereal video.
This morning I asked my toddlers what they wanted for breakfast and they both said cereal, so cereal it was and we got started right away. I made 2 types of cereal. The first one was chocolate chip cookie cereal, so I mixed some flour, peanut butter, maple syrup, milk and chocolate and formed that into a dough. Then I rolled tiny little balls and flattened them out.
Tiny little balls, you said? Starting it by saying that her toddlers asked her in the morning for cereal, so she went and made it. I cannot imagine being a new mother who is sore, can't sleep, probably doesn't feel very beautiful, feels worthless, feels like a loser, and then she sees this girl, a model, with her model husband saying,
my toddlers said that they wanted cereal, so I made them cereal from scratch, and I've got my full glam makeup and my beautiful hair and my evening gown.
By the way, that's not a rude voice, that is a perfect LA accent. And I know that her and her husband are talking to each other like that. Yeah, I actually really wanted to have like some cookies and cream Oreos, but you know, maybe I'll go to the store, babe.
Yeah, instead of that, Lucky Loose Man, I'm going to make you cookies and cream Oreos from scratch.
And I can totally imagine myself as a 20-year-old new mother. What am I talking about? I can imagine myself having just given birth 3 months ago, seeing this and being like, I kind of hate her. And then being like, oh, she's a Mormon? That's propaganda and she's a cult. No, I think it's just because you find her insufferable. I think.
Let's make some lasagna from scratch. It was a gloomy day outside, so what better way to spend it?
So there is this element of almost envy that I think people have. However, I would say not just envy. A lot of people don't want to live this type of lifestyle and they see her doing that and are like, shut up. It's just a carnal reaction. I think that's what it comes down to. But let's keep going because we cannot forget this element.
These are some baby names that are on my list that I won't be using. For reference, our kids have pretty unique names. My daughter's name is Rumble Honey Smith and my son's name is Slim Easy Smith.
So that's another reason right there. By the way, okay, I can admit her voice sounds differently than the one I'm doing. I will never do an LA accent to make fun of her again. I will only talk like this about my new son, Rumble Honey Smith and Slim Easy Smith. Rumble Honey Smith? And you're gonna tell us the names that you were considering. You had other names that you were considering and you went with Rumble Honey? You can't look me in the eyes and tell me that's not annoying. You can't. No, that's actually hard as fuck. Rumble Honey kind of goes fucking insane. In my opinion, when you give your kid a name like that, it's because you view them as an accessory to your lifestyle. As a cool person. Like, I feel like you think, oh, I'm a cool person, so I should have like a unique, cool kid. Hey, you just gotta give this new person a name. Like, this is a new person. This isn't just like a little bit of you. This is a whole new person that's gonna have their whole life completely separate from you. But if you have a egocentric, self-centered view, like the Mormon religion might give you, gotcha, Mormons, gotcha! If you're a Mormon, hey, I already threw you a bone there and said that, like, other religions can be, you know, considered bad. I already threw you a bone. Let me throw a couple punches, too. Hey, nice underwear. Where'd you get it? The Mormon store? Bam! Got him. But I want to see some of the names that she considered. Again, her husband is named Lucky Blue, so it kind of makes sense, but...
For reference, our kids have pretty unique names. My daughter's name is Rumble Honey Smith and my son's name is Slim Easy Smith. So these might be a little out there. But let's get started. For girl's name, I really love the name Odie, Pepper, Dawn. They're all really cute to me.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that you should have called Rumble Honey Odie, Pepper, or Dawn. Pepper and Odie, those are cute names. Dawn, I've heard that before. My friend's mom was named Dawn. How do you go from, oh, kind of cute, quirky, pretty cute and quirky, Rumble Honey? No. That's it. What about your boy's name? What about Slim Easy? What could he have been named?
Really like...
She's gonna go Peter, Daniel, Michael, but we went with Slim Easy. That's not how she talks, I'm sorry. But it's her vibe. It's her vibe. Her vibe is this LA, like, out of touch. Oh my God. I understand why people hate her. I understand. Listen, you shouldn't hate anybody. I don't hate her. I do hate her husband with this hair and that toothpick in there picking out lettuce. I hate him. God, and it's not just jealousy. Just don't do that. You know you're being filmed. Like, why are you trying to be handsome in a grocery store when you know you're being filmed? It's cringe. You're not modeling right now, Lucky Bunny Smith? What's his name? Buckle Honey Smith? Buckle Honey Smith, you're not on a modeling shoot. You're grocery shopping with your wife. When you're giving this, when you're grocery shopping with your wife, I'm sorry I hate you. I'm sorry. Just be real. Okay, get back on track. I don't hate her yet. I do hate her husband. But I am gonna be honest, I'm very annoyed watching her in her big, fur coat with her hair swooping like this, talking about her son and daughter named Rumble Honey and Slim Easy. I can't lie, that annoys me.
Really cute to me. I really like Cherry as a middle name. My husband doesn't really like that name. I also like Bubble as a second name. That might be controversial. And I love the name Pear as a first name. And then for boys, I love the name
I'm sorry. You're saying that, wait, what? You're saying that Cherry and Bubble might be a little bit out there. That might be controversial. Bubble or Cherry? Hey, it's the middle name. Nobody gives a shit. I have to change my middle name to Danger when I hit 1 million subscribers. And it's not really gonna affect my life at all, other than I can go, Danger's my middle name. And then I go,
See, look me up on famous birthdays. It's true.
It's gonna be so annoying. I really don't want to do that. But I have to, I promised anyways. There is nothing out there or cringe about Bubble or Cherry that is not 1 million times worth with the name Rumble Honey. By the way, is Honey the middle name? So their first name is Rumble? You have a girl named Rumble? Or worse, you have a girl named, or is that the boy and the girl's name is Slim? You would give your daughter the name Slim? Listen, either way. Either it's Slim and you're already putting the patriarchal body standards against women on her, or you have given your daughter the name Rumble. So there's no good. I get why people hate her. And I'm just saying, I don't think that it's the propaganda cult indoctrination type stuff. I think it's this stuff.
Nara as a first name. And then for boys, I love the name Frosty still, if you guys remember. What else was there? Sunny, Silver, Zen. Those are a few, but we won't be using them for this baby.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say that when people see this, a model in a fur coat who is married to a Tumblr famous hot boy model who seems to be doing and achieving things that other young mothers would never be able to accomplish, and then comes online and says that she's naming her kids things like Rumble Honey, Slim Easy, we thought about Frost or Zen. I could see myself as a young 28-year-old mother to two taking a big deep breath and my ears exploding out the sides of my head because of how much I hate this girl. Now that's not my experience. I'm not a 28-year-old mother of two, but I've got a lot of empathy for the 28-year-old mother of twos. Hey, any 28-year-old mother of twos in the comments, go crazy.
This morning, my toddler stumbled into my room, and her first words were PB&J, so that's exactly what I got started on. Growing up, I loved having fresh bread. It was one of my favorite things, so I get it. Started by making a really simple sandwich bread with some yeast.
You have to agree with me. Some really simple bread. Every single mother out there is looking at you like, shut the fuck up. If my husband sees this and expects this of me, I'm going to find you and destroy you. That's what every single mother is thinking when she sees this. A simple bread? Don't come on here and act like it's just like, oh, it's just nothing. My toddler stumbled into my room. My toddler, by the way, Rumble stumbled into my room. Shut up, you fucking nursery rhyme ass. It's not just that there's envy. It's a holier than thou attitude. It's not even that. Because people would just be like, oh, you're just projecting. You're just insecure. No! You cannot come online talking about how your toddler stumbled in asking for a PB&J. Then you get your full glam makeup, a gown, bake it from scratch, and call it simple. You can't do that and people not get annoyed. I'm so sorry. Like, look at this, Jennifer Brady. Me? Okay, grab an Uncrustable from the freezer. That's what real motherhood's all about, Jennifer Brady. She woke up wanting PB&J and had to wait about 3 hours, LOL. That's what I'm saying, it's a lie. You can't be a Mormon and lie. You go to hell, and she's lying to all of us. By the way, this has how many views? 13.2 million, so she just lied to 13.2 million people. That's 13.2 million lies. That means in terms of Mormon hell, she's going really to hell.
Started by making a really simple sandwich bread with some yeast, water, salt, sugar, and flour. Kneaded that until a dough formed and then let that dough rise for about 2 hours until it doubled in size. I started on my raspberry jam.
You're making the raspberry jam from scratch. Here's the thing. I would have no problem with this. I don't think anybody would have any problem with this if she just didn't do this narration. If the context was, I'm making a PB&J from scratch, that would be a TikTok account with millions of followers. It would be so successful, so uncontroversial, and everybody be like, oh my God, I stan her. Look at her. She's literally wearing a dress and making this from scratch. I cannot tell you how annoying the narration is. Well, yes, I mean, you're watching it too. When you just say it like that, it just makes it so much worse. When you give us context saying that your little toddler asked for PB&J and that's why you're doing all this, I'm like, okay, you want what? You want fucking applause? This is like that kid, you know, whenever there would be like a bunch of folding chairs and everybody's got to like pick them up and put them away somewhere, there's that one kid who picks up like 7 and it's just like praying for some acknowledgement from the teacher. That's what she's doing. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that you can spend 3 hours away from your child to make them a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm glad that your lifestyle, you can afford to do that. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if it's because you both work from home and your husband is watching the kids, or you're paying somebody else to do it, but just for you to like make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. By the way, if I'm Lucky Blue right now, my daughter Rumble Honey says, hey, I kind of want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And my wife says, hey, can you watch the kids for 4 hours while I make a TikTok just making a peanut butter and jelly from scratch? I might say, hey babe, we could get an Uncrustable for them. They would like it more, and we could watch them together and, you know, grow closer together as a family. But that wouldn't make good TikTok content, so Nara Smith wouldn't do it. Nara Ziza Smith. But that's what it is, I think. She is setting completely impossible, unrealistic, and ridiculous standards that on the surface you could brush off and be like, oh my God, slay. She's a young mother. She's wearing her gown, full glam makeup, making everything from scratch. Slay, aesthetic, vibes. Or you could look at it from the perspective of, she is making me feel like I am nothing and I have absolutely no worth, but then also could never hope to ever achieve this because it is unrealistic. This feels in a TikTok format like she's the greatest mother of all time, the greatest wife of all time. But when you stop and really think about it, she is spending 4 hours away from her kids and husband to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that the kids will hate more than they would an Uncrustable. You know what I mean? By the way, not calling her bad wife, bad mother. This is her job. She's very successful at this. Her job is, you know, she's doing great. And there is nothing wrong with being a mom and working. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is this aesthetic that she's pushing of she's just the perfect, wonderful mother / wife. But that very thing that she's trying to portray herself as is not in actuality what she's being. Do you know what I mean? It's fine to spend 4 hours away from your children and let your husband watch them. By the way, they're his kids too. There's no reason that she should be watching them and he shouldn't. There's no reason for that. But she doesn't portray it like that in these videos. These videos don't look like she's doing work. These videos just look like she's the perfect wife and mother and everybody's watching it getting so annoyed, especially when she calls it simple. Oh my God, it's not simple. And then you find out she's Mormon, and Mormonism is a very easy thing to critique because it is, in my opinion, a fundamentally flawed religion that you cannot know the history of and still believe an ounce of it. Hey, sorry Mormons. Put your dukes up, Mormons. We're going out, we're boxing. Anyways, God, but you find out she's Mormon, and it's very easy to write her off and just criticize her and just be like, she sucks, bye. And I'm coming to you today, on my hands and knees, just trying to say, hey, you don't have to say that she's trying to indoctrinate young girls into a cult with her propaganda intentionally. You could just say, hey, her vibes are so annoying. But that's me. Because when I watch her videos, I do get genuinely so annoyed and frustrated and like, oh my God, I just roll my eyes. I'm like, stop, oh my God. It gets a visceral reaction out of me like that. But it's not because she's on there going, you have to be a Mormon. Trust me. I'm a great wife and mother. I cook like crazy and it's all because of the great Joseph Smith. Join me, children. Come live this beautiful life I live. All of us in our Mormon underwear. Together, join me. Because she's not doing that. She's just being like, hey, I read the Mormon Bible for a little bit today.
Now, my toddler said she likes bears. So I went and impregnated a bear, waited for it to raise into adulthood, slayed it, skinned it, turned its hide into new bedding for her, and cooked her some bear meat stew. Honestly, it's simple, and I don't know why other mothers don't do it.
That's not how she talks. I'm so sorry. That's the most annoying voice I can do, though, so you know how annoying I find her. Have I made my point? Please tell me you agree with me. If you think that there's other reasons that I'm missing behind why the hate for her is so extreme, please point it out in the comments, because, you know, this is just my perspective as a 28-year-old mother of 2. Subscribe. I guess that's the end of the video.
Oh my gosh, the thing is, like, just just don't say all this stuff. Like, put a little bit of music on the bottom, have it be relaxing, have it be nice, and don't go out there saying, you know, a bunch of nonsense, a bunch of BS. Like, my toddler said that I want some oatmeal, so I raised wild oats from scratch, cooked it up into a bowl. That's not how she talks. Again, I cannot stop.